All right, guys, how's it going? Your old pal Jim back with you. We are going to do a thrift video today. I'm feeling pretty good with the headaches. Like I said, last video, I was out for quite a bit with that. Um, and go back to that if you want to learn about what I dealt with. But we are back at it. My wife is with me. She's out of shot because I've got a wide vehicle. I don't know. So we're in Philly right now. We're at 2nd Avenue Thrift. We actually already went in there. And I did that because I didn't want to do a video while I was driving on the highway. So we went in there, grabbed a bunch of stuff. You'll see the aisle shots next. At the end of the video, we're going to do what I bought and I guess why. And then, yeah, that'll kind of be it. Then we'll kind of track these items that I buy and sell and see how much they sell for and shipping costs and how to ship and all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of the transition the videos will be making going forward as I go more into the thrifting, resale, eBay stuff, as well as spark driving on the off days to supplement that income. So you know, if you are strictly a delivery driver and it's not going so great for you, this is a great way to kind of, you know, merge the two side gigs together and, you know, help pay your bills. So that's what we're here for. Here to show you. So we're going to get to our next thrift. We're hitting 2nd Avenue Thrifts today, which is a Savers type thrift store. Savers does Savers, Value Village, 2nd Avenue Thrifts. There's a bunch of different brands, Prime Thrift, under that Savers umbrella. So prices aren't great. The Goodwills by us have pretty decent prices, and no tax, which helps. So 2nd Avenue Thrifts here on Tuesdays do 25% off. So it's Thursday, so we missed out on that. But I have to keep that in mind going forward, that since Tuesdays are typically slow with Spark and other delivery, that's probably a good day to come and hit all these 2nd Avenue thrift stores. So stay tuned for some inside the thrift store action, and like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more of this kind of stuff. So we're going to be doing thrifting. We're going to be doing mainly sparking, maybe some door dashing, and that kind of stuff, just exploring side gig work to keep you self-employed. So here we go. Okay, so here we are in Philly. This is going double speed. I always look at baseball gloves just to see if there's anything decent. I'm gonna pop in and out with this voiceover. I'm not gonna talk throughout the whole thing, but the audio is cut because of the music that's playing in the store. So I did look at that iMac. I believe it's a whole computer and monitor in one. We're just going through looking at some small electronics. Nothing's really catching my eye. Little like game, not really. There's a nice case right here, but let's look. Tool battery chargers can do well. That one's kind of rough. There's the case. It's a vintage typewriter, which can do pretty good. Not that one necessarily for that price. Alarm clocks, I like buying those if the price is right. But let's keep looking. Alright, so Savers is known for having just walls and walls of these bagged items. Did spot those remotes, which I ended up buying, so we'll see that later, I guess. Let's look at some kitchenwares. Vintage tools can do well. That one didn't have a brand or anything, but we're gonna keep looking, and I'll pop back on it once I find something. This caught my eye. I didn't see a brand on it or anything, but it is definitely vintage. Ended up putting that back, and I'm I'm looking for Revere wear, wherever, stuff, brands like that. So she's got a Pampered Chef thing right there that I don't think we ended up buying. But vintage kitchen stuff can do very well. Always look for brands. Unmarked stuff is not worth picking up. And yeah, that's a Lodge, not that great. But we're gonna keep looking. Okay, so vintage kitchen stuff does very well for me. This caught my eye. I think it's a West Bend slow cooker. I think they had $14.99 on it, so I passed. I can get about $40 for those, but with the shipping, it's gonna be it's not gonna work out. So had to leave that one on the shelf. So, and there's the rotisserie. That's $13.99. And yeah, unfortunately we popped over to games. So now we're looking at some games. Let's see. Cash Flow, always a good game. Already got a cart full of some other stuff. Just going through looking for anything that pops out at me. Tripoli is good, but not at that price. $7.99. No, we'll pass. And we're gonna look at a couple of more games. There's an original first edition Game of Life that goes in the old cart there, and we're gonna see what else I find. Alright, now obviously we're looking at some toys here. More vintage the better. I stay away from Nerf. Nerf has gone kind of downhill, and there's a demand for them. There's just not a market to pay up for them because they are kind of big. Bop It Extreme is always good, depending on the price, of course. And we're going to move on to the next aisle here. Let's see what we find. Nothing on this end cap. Some Pirates of the Caribbean stuff, just no. And nothing over here. So we're going to scoot. Yep, here's the next aisle. More bag stuff. What I'm looking for when I look at these toys is like character pieces to complete sets. Sometimes they sell well on their own. That was interesting, but he ended up, his foot was broken, so left that. And really there's not a whole lot here. My wife did pick up that Caterpillar, and yeah, just not seeing it. There's a Fisher Price thing that wasn't worth it in the end, so, but it is vintage, but just not worth it. Alright, now we're at the 2A Thrift in Pennsauken. Let's head in and see what we find. Alright, so right off the bat I see a brand I like, Napa Valley. They make all sorts of crates, typically cassette holders, VHS, CDs, things like that. So pick that one up right away. Let's see what else I find. Okay, so I kind of love clocks, and they have some clocks here, just nothing really like unique or even vintage, so had to pass on those clocks. But I always look at clocks when I'm in there in a thrift store. I just love them, don't know why. Let's look at some electronics. Let's see if pick up on anything here. So alarm clocks can be a good buy if the price is right and the condition is good. Neither was the case with any alarm clocks that I looked at here. Do see a Rowenta steamer down there. I ended up passing on that. Rowenta's a good brand, but again, the price just wasn't right. So let's move on. Alright, so I do see that old telephone. Wasn't any good though, so we're moving on to toys again. And not really seeing a whole lot here either. Wife found a Lego set, but it's just a classic set, just very, very generic. Tons of sellers. Not really worth the risk of just having to hold on to it and compete with a ton of other people. NFL Rush Zone can be pretty good. Handed that off to be checked for pieces, and the price and the condition just wasn't there, so we're moving on. All right, so that was pen stocking. I didn't take too much inside. I try to avoid taking videos with kids in the aisles, people, particularly women. I don't want to make them feel uncomfortable with the guy moving a phone camera around. So I try to be respectful of people, not employees so much. You know, if an employee asks what I do, what I'm doing, I just say, hey, I do a YouTube video about thrift. I throw a shout out to your store. Typically, they're like, oh, okay. So yeah, that was 2A thrifting, Pennsauken, and we did okay there. Spent about $80, and again, you'll see everything at the end what we bought. Yeah, so now we're in Cherry Hill at this 2A thrift. We've been here before. The first two were new to us. The Philly one, it's funny. Every time I see a strip club or a gentleman's club, I'm like, hey babe, do you want to go? Just joking. We don't partake in that industry. So you know, and of course she's like, yeah, you want to go? And no, not really. And then we get to Pennsauken, we shop, we unload the cart into the back of the truck. And I go to put the cart back, and there's a lady laying down in her car, boobs out. So I got my gentleman's club show. I wouldn't pay to get into that strip club, but anyway, so we're gonna go in here. The wife already went in, so she had to use the ladies' room. So I don't know why I'm telling you that. You didn't need to know. But we're gonna go in and see what we find here. So let's see how much more video I can take, and hopefully we do fairly well. Alright, so now we're in Cherry Hill, New Jersey at the 2A thrift. Starting off with some games. Let's see what we find. So this game, King's Cribbage, I've never seen before, so we'll go ahead and put that in the cart. Alright, so Cherry Hill's not looking too great. Looking for something, alarm clock, no.
It's just all the stuff on the shelves are kind of in rough shape, or if it's in good shape, it's priced a bit too high. So we're gonna finish looking around, see if we pick up on anything else, and then we'll get out of here. Steam irons do pretty well, and I do find this Rowenta right here. It's a good brand. A lot of people like it. I'll get 30 to 40 bucks for that, I think. And, the rest of them are not so great. Black & Decker and other brands, Hamilton Beach, Sunbeam, they don't do so great. So if you find Rowenta, those usually do pretty well. Let's see what else we find.
All right, so we're at the 2nd Avenue Thrift in Voorhees, New Jersey. We've been here before, so and about a month ago, right? More than that, 2 months ago maybe. So we should see some new stuff. Last one was kind of a bust, but that's probably the smallest of the 2nd Avenue Thrifts here. So yeah, we're going to head in there, see what we find. And once again, we're going to do a mass what did we buy at the end. And so stick around for that.
All right, Voorhees. Let's see what you got in store for us. Hopefully it's good. Let's get inside. Alright, so again, we're looking for Starbucks, Dunkin', anything unique. Just something that catches my eye. The biggest thing with this side gig, if you will, is to just be curious. Just, hey, I've never seen that before. Let me look it up. I don't have experience selling this type of item. Let me see if it's worth it. Got a knife block there by Henkel's. I got a couple of knife blocks. Nothing else catches the eye. So yeah, so just be curious if you are going to get into this, and you'll be fine. Just look stuff up constantly. About to give up on this section, but then I found, boom, a Whirly, Pepsi, Monster, whatever they're called. Big old drink thing. So let's see what else there is. That's plastic, no good. as you can see, I go through the same aisles in each store. I tend not to deviate because I know what I'm looking for. I know what I like to sell. You haven't seen me flip through a single article of clothing or shoes or anything like that. Those are like last resort stuff for me. So, if I'm in a thrift store and I don't put anything in my cart, then I go to clothes and I see if I can find any brands. And actually, I did flip through, not on camera, but a couple of sections of clothing, and I couldn't find a shirt for under $7.99, which is way too much, especially for the brands that they have. So there's a Game of Life Twists and Turns orange tag, so that's half off. We'll look at some more irons. See, it's just knowing what to sell, and you don't know until you get experience. And I've been doing this well over 10 years, so I know what I like to sell. There's a crock pot. We're gonna take that later. Yeah, $8.99 is a decent price. So yeah, I know what I like to sell, what I'm comfortable with selling, what I'm comfortable with packing and shipping. That's another consideration. And I'll pack and ship anything really, but it's got to be worth it. So there's a couple of things like this all clad crock pot, $25. I'd probably get 60 for that used, free shipping. So if I bought it and somebody in California bought it from me, I'd basically it wouldn't be worth it to take it home. The risk is greater than the reward. But we are going to take that vintage percolator, and but yeah, just I just said my last voiceover, be curious, which is 100% true. But once you get the experience, you can really narrow down your focus at that point, because you've sold things, you know what sells, you know what you like to sell, you get to work with stuff that you enjoy. I enjoy toys and games, so I focus on that. I like the look of vintage stuff, whether it's kitchenware, decor, things like that. Decor and thrift stores, not really worth it. That's more for like estate sales and auctions. So I tend to skip those aisles. I'll glance down them, but I won't actually spend much time in them because, I'm only out here a couple of hours, a day when I do go out. So I really got to maximize that time. So we're going to finish looking through some toys, and then probably be done for today. I think this is the last stop. So let's take a look.
All right, guys. So this is the back of the truck. As you can see, it's a pretty good haul. Spent about $250. Oh, by the way, we're back home. So spent about $250 today. This is what we got. So let's get through it. First, we'll start with this crock pot. This was the $8.99. Should get about 35 for that shipped. Maybe 40. Turn that inside out. And I can do that. And then I'll get this when you get back. So let's look through this tote. Knife blocks. Knife blocks are good. I buy Henkel's. That one's a Wusthof down there. This guy was $4.99. Should get about 25 to 30 for that.
This I buy irons a lot. This Rowenta $6.99 should get about 30 to 35 for that. Let's go over this. This is a Ronco Showtime rotisserie. Paid $13.99 for that. This is the compact one, so I should get $60 to $75 for it. It looks like it's in good shape. There's some signs of use back there, but it's still got the manual and the spindles and everything. This door is on backwards, so we'll have to get that turned around. But other than that, that's good to go. Now back to this. We've got the iron. This Wusthof block I paid $3.50 for. I should get 30 to 35 for that. Vintage toasters. This is a Proctor Silex stainless mid-century. Pretty clean inside. I paid up for it. $10.99 is kind of a lot, but I should get probably 35, 40 for that. Yeah. And my wife is carrying stuff in as I go through it. So save that receipt. Tervis cups. I like buying these. This is a dragonfly. There's the Tervis lid. Tervis on the bottom. I like buying these when they're under $3, let's say. Should get probably 12 to 15 for that for $1.49. That's pretty good. Set this over here. There's another one. Some owls, Stars of David, dreidel, menorahs. That one's $2. Should get 15 to 20 for that. Here's another one. It's just a flower with a pop top. And so it's a little bit different. Paid $2 for that. Should get about $20 for that. I got some more back there. We'll go over that. These are Tupperware hamburger molds. And we've got what looks like 8 patties, 1 presser. Paid $2, bigger size. Probably get about $20 for that. Cranium Cadoo board game, new in the package. Paid $3.50. I'll get 25 for this, new. And Starbucks cups, mugs are always good, mostly. I paid $2 for this. I really don't like going over like 5, let's say. And at the top mark, it's got to be something pretty special. But there's no straw here. I don't know how that's gonna affect it, but if I get $15 for that, I'd be happy. Another Starbucks, New Jersey. Still got the sticker on the bottoms and some stuff inside, papers inside. Should get 25 to 30 for that from $1.99. Here's another Tervis. Let it snow, so it's, wintry, which we're coming up to that season. So $1.49 into about another 15. And the wife picked this up. I don't know if we're going to sell it or keep it, but it's a Disney Parks mug, not a Disney Store mug, $1.49. Probably call that another 15 or so. Another Tervis mug, no lid though, but it's a Dia de Muerte or whatever the hell they call it. With the skulls, $1.49. I'm going to call that a $15 mug. Another Starbucks. I don't know what it is. There's a pumpkin on it. Team PSL. I don't know what that is, but was $14.95. We'll probably get 20 to 25 for that. KitchenAid blade sets. Blade sets are always good. You've got all the attachments here. I don't know where that goes. We've got these blades. Sorry. These guys.
And then underneath you have the circle blades. So for your food processor owners, they might like a new blade set. I think we paid like 70 bucks, $6. Here's the price. I should get probably 35 to 40 for that. And then we'll move on to this one here. We could do vintage Tupperware, can do pretty well. I don't know if I can get, there's Tupperware. This is a meat tenderizer. Paid $2 for it. I sell these all the time. 20 to 25 bucks. So that's pretty good. This is a Pampered Chef thing. I don't know. I've never seen it before. Orange was a half off sticker, so we paid $1.50 for that. For Pampered Chef, anything $1.50 is good. So I'm gonna say probably 20 to 25 for that, maybe more, depending on what it is. Wrap Masters. This is a new product for me. Paid $3.49 each. Look these up in the store, and I get basically, if I sell them single, I'll get like 20 to 25. If I want to put two together, that's probably 30 to 35. So Napa Valley, if you're going to be doing this as a side gig, Napa Valley is a good brand to look for in your wood crate box thing. So this is I don't even know what it's for. It looks like CDs, CD holders. They do cassette holders. $3.99. I'll probably get 25 to 30 for that. And this is all shipped prices. This is done Tuesday. Okay. Move this out of the way and get to the next one. Okay. So board games. We sell a lot of board games. As you can see, there's a bunch up there. There's a bunch in there. So let's go beyond Balderdash. Now, the thing about board games is you have to have space to keep incomplete games. So we don't really know if these are complete or not. I paid $4.49 for Beyond Balderdash. I should get 25 for it, 22 to 25 shipped. So they're not huge money makers, but they're quick sellers. Wheels on the Bus game should get 25 to 30. Vintage kids games do very, very well. Paid $4.49 for that. Again, not knowing if it's complete. So it's a big gamble with board games. So be wary of that and be prepared to have to hold on to some and keep them for pieces to complete other games and whatnot. So we've got this Sunbeam, percolator, vintage. Paid $7.99 for it. It's got the plug and all the stuff inside. Looks pretty clean. If all goes well, I should get 35 to 40 bucks for that. So, and again, we'll follow up with prices on this kind of stuff too. So, this next one, the top came off of it. So, no. This is a Wherever, or West Bend rather, penguin. Looks like a pot or something. I don't know. But I've sold these before. They do pretty well. Paid $6.99 for it. Should get probably 30 bucks to that. 35 maybe. And the screw for the lid is inside. So paid $8.99. I do like buying curler sets. So this is a Conair vintage Conair Ready Set Go. Looks super clean. We won't have to do a whole lot. They've got the clips. Clips are important. It looks like it's never been used really.
but I do see hair in there, so it has been used. And that's kind of the gross part about this business, is you do have to touch some gnarly stuff. So $8.99, I should get 30 to 35 for that. Another meat tenderizer, $3.99, that'll go for 20 to 25. Pampered Chef stoneware, this one's like new, never used, $7.49. There's the Pampered Chef stuff. That's probably a $35 piece, rather. And we get into the big bin. We've got another Wraptastic. This is for plastic wrap. Paid $1.49 for that. That's a $25 piece right there. More board games. Game of Life, Twists and Turns. Game of Life is good. If you've noticed in this video, I've looked at a lot of Games of Life. $5.99 orange tag, so that's a $3 game. I'll get 25 to probably 30 for that on the high end. Catchphrase is another good game. Paid $3.49 for it, and that's 25 bucks all day long. Same with this Categories Junior. Paid $5 for it. That's 25. As long as it's complete. We do have pieces for some of it. This is a new game to me. King's Cribbage. It's new. Paid $5 for it. I looked it up. They get like 25, but they don't sell very often. So that we may have to hold on to that for a while. I'll get to that stack in a minute. This is a Pampered Chef plastic canister, I guess. I don't know.
That was just interesting.
$2.99. That might be for the wife. She collects Pampered Chefs. So these guys, Alphabet Pals, Leapfrog, I think, right?
Yeah.
Or VTech, I don't know.
Leapfrog.
One of those. These are 25-ish or so, 22 to 25. Paid $5 for it. So not bad, not bad. I think these were for us, right?
Yeah.
So that's for us. Remote controls do pretty good. These are Fios TV remotes. Paid $3.99 orange tag, so $2. $1 per remote. I should get 12 to 15 for that. Bop Its are good, vintage ones, especially like this. Bop It Extreme. Corrosion is a big issue with these, and they're screw-in battery containers, so that could be an issue. $3.49, it's worth the gamble, because if it's good, that's 25 to 30. I've got another one down there. These guys, Fisher Price coating caterpillars, $4.49. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 links. That's 25 to 30 for that. And it's, I mean, not everybody realizes that this kind of stuff sells, which is great for me. Now great for you if you decide to get into this. Another Pampered Chef stone. This is an old one, 1992. $3.99 is what we paid for it. This vintage one that hasn't been used a whole lot, we'll probably get 40 to 45 for it. And we're getting towards the end here. Pull out this other Bop It. Paid $5 for this one. Again, as long as there's no corrosion, and this one I think turned on, or that one turned on. One of them turned on. So we're looking at 25 to 30 for that. Oh, Outrage, another game that doesn't sell a whole lot. $4.99. I'll probably get 25 for that. Dr. Seuss, really fun game. We've sold these before, right? Sold it once for like 25. So it's light, $3.49. It'll ship at 2 pounds, which we'll get into shipping another time. But cash flow games are good. It's a rich dad, poor dad thing. These usually are good for 50. We've got the cash flow and then the cash flow for kids. Paid $8.99 a piece for those. This coffee maker, the bottom is right there.
This is the Nescafe Dolce Gusto. Looks like a penguin. Will need to be cleaned up a bit. Paid $5.99. Should get $60 to $65 for that. This is a first edition Game of Life. First edition games are just like first edition books. They sell better and for more. So as long as this one's complete, it's got Arc Link Letter right there, who heartily endorses the game. So this is from 1960. We'll probably get like $40 for it in this condition, in this box condition. Paid $4.49.
I should still put everything in the tote.
Oh.
Side.
Yeah. And we've got two more games. This 80s or 91 maybe?
I think that's 90.
Yeah, 91 Game of Life. Again, if it's completed, it's, you know, we've got other Games of Life in the workshop, so we'll be able to make it complete, I hope. Paid $3.49 for that. Should get probably 25 to 30. And then we've got a vintage battleship there. Vintage battleship. And sorry, I got a... you can tell it's vintage by like his hairstyle, his shirt, like her little... I don't even know what that is. But the Milton Bradley logo, made in the USA. And of course, I thought there was a year on it, but I can't find it. It's probably inside. Here's the original price, $4.99.
71.
1971. So there you go. 1971. So this battleship is probably good for about another 25 to 30. Paid $4.49. So that's what we got. Oh, one more thing. This big old Pepsi Whirly. There's the brand. Whirly. Whirly travel giant mugs sell remarkably well. This is Pepsi. Looks like maybe early 2000s, late 90s, based on the logo. Paid $3.99. I should get 30 to 35 for that. So that's what we got today. Ashley's got a lot ahead of her to prep, picture, and list. And now the truck is empty. So we're going to get to work on this. Well, she's going to get to work on this stuff probably tomorrow and through the weekend. Maybe here and there. Definitely on Monday. We'll get as much of this stuff listed. And we still have some other stuff to list. So, guys, there I am. Hey, so yeah. If you like this video, like, comment, subscribe, all that happy horseshit. And I will do a short with the stuff that we sold today. Of course, none of it is this stuff that you've seen me buy. You'll see this stuff filter in my future videos, so you can see exactly what it sells for, how quickly it sells, stuff like that. And of course, if we can get it up and listed quicker, then it'll sell quicker. So, yeah, so that's it, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, all that happy horseshit. We'll catch you next time.